I don't have this set up correctly. There we go. So last time on Renewal of Shadow, we picked up where we left off the session before, with Isaac and Astrid approaching the entrance of the Elder's Tinctures as they entered inside this mysterious den of alchemy. As they walked in, they saw this strange store filled to the brim with macabre and odd bits and pieces, clear ingredients in strange concoctions and potions and such. There was also an intense, well, not intense, but there was also a noticeable heat inside the room. There was a heavy, moist heat inside that was very different from the outside, as you all are in the midst of cold winter. Inside, it was very warm, warmer than natural. That's not what that was supposed to do. Oh, well, there we go. And inside, they met with the owner of the Elder's Tinctures, alleged, who was a strange elven individual whose eyes stared forward almost unblinkingly, talked in a very strange, deliberate way, and appeared different in Isaac's eyes than how he appeared in Astrid's. The specifics of that I will leave to your notes and remembrance, but a conversation was had with the owner of the Elder's Tinctures, with Isaac trying to initially skirt around asking about himself, but asking about things he believes are going to happen to him regarding mutations of the body and such, until eventually admitting that he was asking about himself as he believed that something was going to be happening to him. To which the owner observed that he did not notice anything strange about Isaac. He did not note that. He noted that he did not see any sort of mutations from Isaac, but was speaking as if he or they were aware or theorizing some things. As he talked to Isaac, he made an offer regarding what is going on with him. A vial of his blood that he would bring to his masters, who he would show the blood to, and they would examine it and perhaps find Isaac interesting or noteworthy. And if they allowed a meeting, you would be able to meet with them, and they would likely or possibly be able to solve your problem. This was a offer that Isaac did not was hesitant to accept initially, noting how strange the situation was and noting that it would be strange or dangerous to give away his blood to an individual. By the way, you guys are on the landing page for now in case you want to add any sort of notes onto there. I'll be moving you off of it once I'm done with the recap. But through consideration and further conversation trying to gauge the individual, it was found that he was not lying or being deceitful in any way to Isaac or Astrid's eyes or ears. And Isaac bet or put faith in this individual, giving his blood over after having it being taken with a syringe, and then noting something strange after the individual asked both you and Astrid if you had seen things before that you were not quite able to comprehend or looked wrong to you that hurt when you look at them. Stating, when you both confirmed that you had, that it always does hurt at first, but it begins to fade eventually. But after that had gotten brought up, Astrid asked why Isaac was describing his eyes as a sea of white. To which Isaac said that that was what his eyes were. And Astrid replied no, that they were blue. In that moment, Isaac came upon a horrible revelation of that what he was seeing was different from Astrid, and the paranoia grew in his mind and buried itself in its belly. And the two of you left near instantly, with Isaac not wanting to look anybody in the eye anymore after heading out. At the same time, the party rushed forward. Well, not rushed forward. The party moved through the city at a whatever pace they needed to. I don't know why I said rushed. And arrived back at Fort Breline, where they informed the mayor of what they had just learned regarding the two solutions to the problem. To refresh in your mind the two solutions being, one, the bathing of both victims in the blood of a freshly slain innocent innocent humanoid of perceived innocence, which would mean that the person who murdered them believes them to be innocent. And then, two, the other, less ghastly solution, which was not a full solution, it was more a Band-Aid fix, but it's a bit better than a Band-Aid, more like a bandage wrapping. The solution of acquiring an item attuned to the lower planes, and then using that item as a spellcasting component to cast the remove curse spell on the two victims. This would alleviate and stop the most pressing of the curse and poison's effects, but it would not fully remove or purge it from them. Instead, you would still need to require an item that Tanilla likely carries on her that needs to be destroyed to fully end the effects of the curse to refresh. You inform this of the mayor, and the mayor was horrified by the former option, not considering it at all, as it would both be a smear for what his son would want and what Zeplar would want, but as well would be something that he cannot do in his own set of morals. However, he was not fully aware of the nature of the lower planes. There's some elaboration from folk in the party, but he believed that it was possible you could find an item and possibly do that, and that seemed as though it was what you needed to do in this moment. So there was a split in where you all were deciding to go. The party, including Isaac and Astrid, who arrived back around this time, and briefed some more on the mayor, but grouped up together. The party would be going to the Black Flame, a magic item shop, where they would ask the owner if he had, or if he knew more about the lower planes and what sorts of items you could get that were attuned to them. And two, if he had any of those items. The mayor would be heading to the Arcane Infinity to ask the same question. The two groups split, the mayor heading off and then the party, and you all eventually found yourself outside the Black Flame. Beryl, anxious with moving through the city, wanted to head into the park, which Carolina offered to take her to, while everyone else went inside the Black Flame. The two of them went off. The rest of the party entered the Black Flame, where a grandiose and dramatic entrance was had by the owner of this store, referring to himself as Belial. That was not sitting too well with some members of the party, leading to some people walking out, and to some people being very curt with the gentleman. But eventually, through considered conversation and long drawn-out dramatics, you were able to learn that this individual does sell items of the lower planes. You negotiated what type of item you would want to buy, and ended up buying a necklace that was touched for one of the layers of hell, Stygia, the frozen lair, a spellcasting focus of Levistus, the frozen devil lord of that lair. Josie also bought a gun while she was there, a hell-touched flintlock. I said I would have that made for you. as a handout. I didn't make it, so I'm sorry for that. However, I will go over really quickly exactly what it does because it is extraordinarily simple. And I will try to make a handout next time. As a Hellfire touched Flintlock, it has what I believe was a +1 to hit and damage. And it deals an additional 2 Hellfire damage on hit. And additionally, you can, as a free action, make it start to emanate 20 feet, or, yeah, it was 20 feet of bright light, and then 20 feet of dim. Is exactly what it does to the T. It is a non-attunement item, and it is a bonus action to dim the light off. Got it? Alright. And I will hopefully have that as a handout next week, because I should still have a handout for it, even if I tell you exactly what it does. Nonetheless, your discussion and negotiation with Belial, the master of the Dark Flame, had reached its conclusion until Astrid had a query for him regarding the hell-touched ring that sat upon her finger. He could tell upon looking at it that it was a ring of a cruel, powerful design that had supernatural and magical origins, so that even anti-magic would not affect it. He has well stated that with how powerful it is, he does not believe he could do anything, and he suggested that Astrid seek out someone knowledgeable, or someone more knowledgeable, or someone from the hells, as in a devil, to see if she could solve this problem. Cautioning that it is dangerous to deal with devils, but also pointing out that he did not, but that he sincerely believed that that is a real detriment being on your finger. Perhaps something Astrid already knew and was being told the obvious, but nonetheless, you all parted afterward and went outside. There was some consideration for a moment. Isaac casted Identify to find out what the spellcasting focus of the Hells did. Just a normal spellcasting focus. Doesn't have any sort of bonuses to it. Just a spellcasting focus that is attuned to the energies of the Hells. And we ended session with the party deciding they would head soon off back to the Bears to inform him of what happened, and then, of course, hopefully remove the foul afflictions that are upon Zeplar and Esteros. Before we get back into it, does anyone have any questions, comments, or concerns? Things I left out in the recap that I could have touched up on a bit more, or anything like that? Questions about anything related to the game? Okie dokie. That being said, then, we shall move back into the great city of Breline, picking up not with the bulk of our intrepid party, but instead with Carolina and Beryl, as they find themselves in this wide, sprawling park filled with trees, fauna, and word for plant life about, and with a road that goes, stone pavement road that goes from the entryway where you come in a sort of four-way pointed to each leading to a center of the park that you cannot see. It's a rather big park. You can tell the road goes on for a while, but this is a very large park as you enter, and the two of you are about inside. So I ask of you, what do you do? Yes, this would be as the party has already entered. As you look around, it's a very large park. There would be other people moving about and going and, like, You see some people. It is the new year, and there are people about to have picnic baskets. There are children running about. Families mostly, from what you can see, but there are some people that have moved to more secluded areas where they are, saying, enjoying reading a book under the shade or just relaxing with their own sort of picnic basket alone. So there are definitely people about, a good number of them, but if you're looking to move away from the crowd, you could easily find a spot away from them, as this is a very large park. Yeah, I mean it is a winter park. It's not maintained like the garden of the Breline fort by druidic magic. The park is affected by the elements, so you see some bare trees about and so on and so forth, but nothing appears dead necessarily. From what you can see, you can tell that this place is well taken care of. However, the wear and shines of winter is assuredly about the park itself. As well with the light amount of snow that still covers the ground from a day back. It doesn't have any sort of like noteworthy architectural difference or like any sort of entrances or windows or anything like that. It's just the back of what you'd expect of a cathedral-like Gothic building, and there are what looks like some more gargoyles back there as well up on the back. And you do make a good point, actually. So why don't I get perception checks from both of you, because there are mostly bare trees in the park you could see further in, and I did not consider that for what was a moment. Sure. Beryl and Carolina, you are both able to see that further down in the park, there is, past some tree and some hills, what looks like there's like a main like garden area of the park that would usually be bustling with plant life. But you can see that obviously it's under the effects of the winter right now. Off in the distance, it's sort of the center area. There is a fountain, and then both of you see what looks like a very, very old statue that stands, that depicts what looks like a sort of faded individual that is assuredly elven. You can see the pointed ears, but the statue itself is very faded and very old. So you cannot make out any finer details of it. And you see that off in the distance, further into the park. There's not many people around that specific area, and you just see that off there. Sure. As the two of you talk, with the way you're moving and the direction toward the statue you're making your way towards, you eventually start to notice that there is an individual by the base of the statue that is sat right at it in a sort of like contemplative, cross-legged stance, like a meditative. You see the blonde-haired elven woman that you had met before outside of the city gates, Lena, from the Slayer's Colossus. As she is sat there. Just pointing that out to you as your conversation goes on and you meander your way toward that direction, you spot her in a sort of contemplative, silent meditation before the base of the very faded statue. No indicative facial features on the statue. The face is like all but like completely faded. But you can roll a perception check on like the statue itself to see if you notice anything else about it with how close you've gotten now. 16. Yeah, you can also do one if you'd like. Nat 20. So, Beryl, as you look at the statue, you can see that there are what looks like carvings on the, like, chest and body of it that indicate some sort of, like, to you, what looks like, armor-like, make on the statue, as if it was trying to make what looks like would have been heavy, bulky and strong armor. And in his hand there is assuredly what looks like the holding of what would have been a weapon. You recognize the grip of someone gripping a large two-handed weapon, but the weapon itself is faded completely by this point. If it was once there, it is no longer. You're able to tell just from noticing the grip. Aside from that, you can tell that it has very long hair, the individual trying to be depicted in this statue, but you cannot discern any of the other, like, features that you expect for gender or anything else like that. Carolina, you notice all of that, and then also notice that there is an inscription at the base of the statue. And as you look at it, what languages do you speak again? If you could link them really quickly or just read them off for me. I don't believe it's a lot. It's like Common and Infernal, right? That's it. Okay, but you've been traveled and you have seen Elvish before because it's almost impossible to have not seen Elvish, as any one of you in this land. And you can tell it kind of looks Elvish to you, but it's definitely not in your mind because it looks different. The inscribing, and it's very faded, but you can just barely see it with that roll. Roll me a stealth. I know you're not, like, trying to, like, hide yourself or anything like that, but I want to see how quiet you are actually being for the sake of her own passive perception, and I would have to double check that. Her wisdom is very good. Yeah. Let's see. Yes, because of your cloak of elven kind. Yeah, okay. You walk up and do not seem to disturb her from her contemplative stance as she is cross-legged on the ground. Her hands are pressed together, her fingers interlocking and pressed up against the, like, just below her rib cage on her stomach, as her eyes are completely closed and she is very completely tranquil in this meditative, contemplative sitting stance. No, the statue itself is just out in the like open, no gate or like walls around it. It does have like what you'd expect of like it's like high up the statue itself. The base is like a stone column, and then the individual is sat atop the stood atop the stone column. And the inscription is like on the base of it of the stone column. And you all are behind her right now, having walked up. So you're aware. Or in the area behind her. Not like you're right behind her. I didn't expect that. But you're in the like general vicinity behind her. Not moved past her. Not by this statue. However, if you look back into the sort of like main like centerpiece garden area, you see by the fountain there are benches, but that's like 10, 15 feet away from you. As the two of you sit, with as close as you are to Lena and actually like getting past her a bit to sit, as you stir and move to sit on the ground, you would see her stir slightly as she would move her head over, her one eye peeking open to look out, seeing the both of you. Then both of her eyes open as she just looks to you all. She has a neutral expression on her face as first she just scans you over, and then appears to be thinking for a moment and goes, "The two we had met, the wild soul and the tiefling with the bow, Beryl, Carolina, was it?" "Yes. What brings you here today?" "Well, what brings you to the park? You should say what brings you to the park and to this old piece of history?" "Most people aren't, generally." "Ah, not used to the crowded cities of this land, then, are you?" "I was not. It took some adjusting for me when I first came here years ago as well, but it eventually happened, though. I do not know where you come from. Where I came from, we had cities, just never ones that had this many people in it." She nods her head. Who is the question that I do not have the answer for? What is... Well, years ago, thousands perhaps, there was a faction of elves that arrived to this land and founded their home in what is now ruins, not far from this city. Back when this was simply but a fort, before it became this large, bustling piece of civilization, this was merely a piece of the nature and greenery around, and here this statue was built as a gesture of peace between the locals of the fort and the elves that had settled in their new home. Yeah, at this close, you'd see the inscription. And you've seen Elvish before. I don't know if you speak Elvish. Um, you can't understand it. It looks old though. It looks similar. No, I don't think you've seen this written actually. No. Trying to think of how I could bridge this for Beryl, because you were there before when this happened. It looks how you how you think what you had heard before sounded when you'd first met Lena, and she did that ritual in that language that sounded similar to Elvish, but you could not understand. That, yeah, when you had first arrived. I don't know if you were privy to that being ancient Elvish. I don't know if that was something that was spoke out loud, or if it was just something that, say, Astrid and Silas was able to tell retroactively. But it looks, yeah, it looks old. And I'll give Beryl a history check, even, because she may have seen ancient Elvish before in the Fae. It's just not particularly likely. So, like, you might know what it is. I'd say 20 is good enough. You definitely do know that's ancient Elvish, and I'd give you that you retroactively know that what she spoke before was ancient Elvish as well. So you're aware that this is ancient Elvish, which is the original form of Elvish, allegedly. Very old. You weren't particularly disturbing anything of importance. I was simply reflecting on my time here. I have not seen a woman of that description with a dark satchel. Why? I see. A heinous crime. I will keep an eye out and will try to find someone if I spot her, but I have not seen anyone that of that description. I have also not been about the city much until recently. Duties at the Slayers is long and often leads to me not getting much free time. One of the reasons I came here to reflect. Years now. When I first came here, a good 5-6 years ago, I did not have the currency to survive in this land. So it took me quite a while of living in woods, surviving off of berries and hunted game, until I realized that I was not going to make my goal if I did not find a solution. So I had signed on with the Slayers once they had saw that I had potential in their work, and have been working with them since. Trying to save money where I can, and hopefully work till the end of my contract so I can get back to my original aim. Needless to say, I did not leave my homeland to come here simply to kill monsters. I do not mind the question. I'll say only that there is something going on in my home, and I sought to find the reason why. And will apologize for not being able to elaborate further. I had hoped that when I finally got assigned to here in Breline, that I would get the time to investigate what I have wanted to. But unfortunately, with the monstrosities acting up as they have, I have found that I have been busy every day for nearly the entirety of the day, and have been exhausted after work. Monster hunting is not a job that you go adventuring after, once you have done it all day for about 12 hours. It is a lot. It is incredibly a lot, yes. I hope that you two do as well. Give your regards to the other. Give my regards to the others, is what you would have said, not your regards. Mm-hmm. What are the two of you going to do after that? It's a rather big park. You can find the tallest tree in your vicinity, but you don't see the entire length of the park. So you can't necessarily see what would be the tallest of the entire park. Okay, and you're going to be asking about whether these plants have seen Tanilla then. Roll me a D100. As you ask about, starting with the biggest tree, and I imagine if you didn't get anything, you would go to others and try and get any sort of answer you can. No, you don't catch that any have seen a woman of Tanilla's specific description. You also do know that it's sort of hard to necessarily trust the accounts of a tree or plants on that regard, because they don't necessarily see like a person or like a humanoid does. But any sort of description you give, or any sort of like description you would give of, say, like the energy that would even come from maybe the satchel, because that would be something that they would maybe be a bit more aligned to because of their instinctual nature. They no, just nothing as you go. You guys have historically bad D100 rolls. It's like a nightmare every time I ask you guys to do it. And as you guys do that, by the time you finished asking about, you would notice that the main front of the party has entered the park and is looking about, clearly trying to find someone, likely you, to, as they have walked in. As it has been some time since you have first arrived here, with you starting to ask the questions of the plants. So what do you do? Sure. As the rest of you in the main party, having decided that you would be heading back to the mayor's, went to go find Beryl and Carolina. As the group of you, I believe four, are moving through the park. I'm bad at counting. It's five technically because Silas is there. You don't spot them at first, but eventually, after a minute or so, you see what look like Beryl and Carolina approaching with Beryl waving toward you guys. And you all would reunite as, what do you do? The whole party back together. So you all just heading straight back to the mayor's? Does anyone have anything they want to say or do as you're making your way back to the mayor's? I'm going to take that as a no. Um, as you all head to get to the mayor's, you travel through city itself. What sort of pace are you trying to move at? Are you rushing or are you moving at a normal pace? So you're going fast pace. Okay. As you make a fast pace through the city, you arrive at the gates. The guards, seeing you arrive with your rushed pace, you'd be stopped by one of the guards you'd recognize and be like, "Hurried pace, any developments?" Truly, the mayor's still out, but if you have a solution, I can lead you to the medical chambers, and you could do it unless you want to wait for the mayor. Is you asking the guard? I am unsure myself. I have not been in there. I just... Any dissenters on that opinion? No? Alright. So the guard would nod and he would lead you back to the medical room as you enter inside. As well, I don't think any of you need this, but with the amount of time that's passed, you could have gotten a short rest at any point going on today. So, if you have needed that to roll hit die or get anything back, a short rest has occurred already. So, if any of you need that. But you arrive back in the medical room as you see Zeplar and Steros still on their beds, having been changed into clothes that would be more appropriate for sickly individuals. They are laid down, still deep in sleep, sweating, and clearly not comfortable in any sort of way. The attendees in the room are now just there watching in case any sort of emergency happens. They have done all they could by this point. As you enter the room, and what are you going to do? Which one first? Okay, so you move to Zeplar and you're going to cast Remove Curse, with using the Hell Touched item as a catalyst, say, component for it. As you do this, roll me a D100. This is not for the success of your venture, but it is for whether or not the component is damaged or destroyed in the casting. D100, yes. I know, I'm sorry. Okay. As you cast with the item, the Remove Curse, clutching it in your hand, you feel the cold iron in the palm of your hand, the infernal dark deep within this wretched necklace. You can feel this, the essence, and you can smell the scent of the hells on this as you hold it in your hand. The scent of Stygia is not the fiery brimstone you'd expect of the hells. Instead, it is a overpowering, like, cold frost that moves over your nose, sort of dulling your senses. As you hold it in your hand, and that rainbow flame that you emanate from yourself as you call upon the power of your goddess begins to leak into the item itself, and as it does, it sort of shakes and vibrates in your hand as you hold it over Zeplar and begin casting the Remove Curse. You see the item retch and bend some, burn a bit, but does not shatter completely, and eventually a magic moves over Zeplar, a rainbow flame mixed with a dark, icy blue color that lingers and merges into Zeplar until it forms around him and sort of begins to gather up this dark reddish black energy lingering on him, grabbing at it and then forming what looks like a ball and then just popping above him as he then takes a breath in and begins to take a more steady, normal breath, no longer baited as if sick or hard of breathing. He now breathes deep and long breaths as his stance becomes more comfortable as he lays on the bed as well. No, he is unconscious. He's still sleeping. Moving to Asteros after that. Is there a reason you wouldn't, or... I see, okay. I see. Mm-hmm. I believe she has to roll a d3, correct? We've been playing on Roll20 for a very long time and make this mistake still. So you get a second level spell slot back. Okay. Real quick, how does Harness Divine Power work? Because I know that's one of the Tasha's features, correct? Thank you. One expended spell slot level, which can be no higher than half your proficiency bonus rounded up. The number of times you can use this. Okay. I actually don't know what you guys' proficiency bonus is. That is what it says. But you know what? In this moment, I'm going to allow it to happen now as a sort of converging of powers between Beryl and Soul. This is not really ever going to happen again like this. You're not going to be able to regain a third level spell slot in this sort of way. But in this moment, Beryl's magic links with yours, and some of the remaining energy from the remove curse you casted upon Zeplar jumps from Zeplar back to you into your form in a rainbow flame as it begins to merge with you, and then the same thing happens as you start to begin to cast the remove curse, I imagine, yes? And I need you to roll a D100 again. The chances are higher of this thing being destroyed this time. Which may be a stake, not for you, but for someone else. But look at that. I mean, a 72 and a 73 back to back. Yeah. Needed to roll below a 40 for this one. And you very much blew that out of the park. As you cast the spell through it, your energy links with the item once again, and like two opposites going against each other, it very much does battle against the item itself, breaking it some as it pops and some of the pieces fall off a bit. But the item is not destroyed, nor is it significantly damaged. And the same thing happens once more. The remove curse goes off. Asteros takes a breath of air in. A calm moves over him, and he falls into a more comfortable and healthy sleep as the sickness is fading from him. As both are cured. As you touch it, Isaac, it singes your hand for a moment, burning you. Which immediately then gets washed over by a chilling cold. So you get burned, and then a frostbite goes over the burn as well. As that finger just goes completely numb, basically, for the next, hour. As the two of them lay. Now, no longer on the verge of death, the attendees, medical folk, go to doing a full physical examination of them to see if they find anything wrong. During the time of their examination, are any of you going to do anything? Are you trying to look it over physically or magically trying to gauge something from it? Roll an Arcana check. Identify wouldn't exactly do this. With your Arcana check, you do not detect any sort of significant losses of magical essence inside of it. Anyone else during the minutes or so that they are looking over Zeplar and Asteros? Take that as a no, as they look both of them over, and then after their brief moment of doing so, look towards you all and go, so whatever you've done has not completely mended them. They're still of a fever, and they still appear to be weak. However, it appears the most severe of their symptoms is gone. I'm detecting steady heart rates from both of them, and everything seems normal aside from what you'd expect from a normal sort of fever. They will be resting for some time, but they may be able to move about in some time as well, though. However you got the information certainly was a boon. Is your intent to stay and wait for the mayor? Please go, somewhere more comfortable to the guest room or the, lounging area if you'd like. I will inform the mayor of where you all have gone to and have him seek you out once he arrives. Sorry, she's not umming. She's speaking with clarity, complete clarity. This is all me. As she goes, I'll inform the mayor of where you went. I imagine he will want to see his son and see Zeplar when he returns. Unless you would like to stay here, you are free to if you would. I just assumed you would like some more comfortable amenities. Guards inside, guards outside. There are four people inside. There is the two guards that guard the door, and then there are two medical attendees who are a doctor and a nurse, it seems. So the seven of you go to retire to the lounge? Sure. Okay. So you head to the lounge, the same room you were in the other night when you'd first arrived. The couch with the tables and such about. As you all are alone in this room, the fire is not lit, though if you would like to combat the cold, you could start a fire in the fireplace. And what do you do as the seven of you are alone in this room, awaiting the mayor's return? Wouldn't be hard. They have tools in the room to do so. I imagine Carolina started the fire before. I mean, I could make you roll a survival check to see if you start a fire, like, in the building itself. But I won't. As much as that would be a funny, like, bit of failure. Yes. Just know that this is a sake of my own convenience not wanting to do that. As I would usually go for the more possible funny scenario, I don't want to derail us that far away from what's currently going on. Yeah, well. A soul would probably just put it out anyway. She has controlled flame, so. Or she'd make it worse. Caroline is trying like all the different like bits you'd expect like they have by a fireplace. She has the poker that you use to just move the things around, and the fire's not even started yet. I don't know if that's true, but Caroline is plenty capable. She's probably been on the road before. She's lighting the fire fine. It's fine. Um. Um. Afternoonish. Yeah, that's what you know. There'd probably be some sort of clock in this room. This man has money. He's the mayor. Yeah, there'd be a clock in the room. Who am I kidding? Uh, there was a clock. There was a clock in Lady Estray's house. Lady Ilsani's. Estray is a. You haven't been to her house. There is a clock, and the clock says that it is exactly 2:30 p.m. You did not, but you should have. The estimate for getting to the ruins itself would have been about a 6 hour, not 6 hour, it's about a 4 hour journey to get there. To get to the Mia village that you were told about is about a half hour to an hour journey, depending on the path you take and other factors. Yes. That's correct. Yes, he was. No, 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 I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Around here is still a fine statement, considering that you're like close to the border to yes. Okay. Is anyone doing anything of particular note while you all wait for the mayor to come? Astra, did you tell them to inform you of you when the mayor comes? Okay. But you want to be informed of when the mayor arrives. Um, Okay, so Isaac is heading out to talk with Astrid. Are the rest of you doing anything of note? That is what the of note part was for. I am going to take that as a no, though, unless someone interrupts me now, which doesn't seem like anyone's going to. So, Astrid, you're heading to your room to see if you get any messages back from Satanta or Morgan. And Isaac, you're going to Astrid's room to have a conversation with her. I'm going to call a normal break right now. In fact. So we're going to take 5 minutes right now and be back eventually. So take 5, everybody. That funny little show I put on before is about to be relevant because you're going to check for the Satanta stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So getting back into it. Before I have to change the music again. Astrid, as you walk in the room with Isaac following behind, you see, perched on your open window, what looks like a raven having what looks like a letter in its beak. Upon seeing you, it sets the letter down, lets out a obnoxious caw, and then goes to fly away. Nah, I'd be gone. It'd be out of there. Correct. So open the letter. It is a from Morgan. It details him having received your letter and informing Satanta and the others that you have arrived and are tackling the problem. And then it informs you that Satanta has arrived or is in the process of making his arrival in Zilia, as he'd arrived there quicker through transportation that was provided by Morgan. And that, as well, someone has arrived in Dolwyn, thank you. That was my brain going for it. Someone has arrived in Dolwyn with at Satanta's recommendation to deal with that problem there, though Morgan has not met them, and Satanta was vague about it. Probably because he was on the road and not probably in the best space to be arriving. And then he just informs that you should keep an eye out for any other birds, as they will find you with any sort of updates. And then he gives you his best wishes. As a note after, he would say that he will look at the snowflake next time you meet and is curious about what you describe. No, there's no heart. This is a business mail. This is business mail. No. Yes. the Lord's estate. Hello. Can you hear me? Oh, sorry, I was muted on, on the stream, not in Discord, and I got confused because I thought that both were, muted at the same time they usually are. Nonetheless, you all begin to wait, for the mayor to arrive, and after some time, the door opens, and Mayor Evidan steps in, as he has a relieved but tired look on his face and in his eyes. He looks over each of you and goes, "Thank you deeply for what you've done. The Arcane Infinity did not have what we were looking for in particular, so returning to find that you all had found what we need and successfully helped them. I cannot provide you enough gratitude. Know that when I'm in the position to, after all this has concluded, you could expect a token of my gratitude." He gives you all a bow. He smiles. And then he goes, "But my gratitude and sentimentalities aside, I believe that we should discuss moving forward before we move into any pleasant conversation. What do you plan to do next?" You wish to pursue the goblin problem still. A strong hypothesis. I would wonder why he would feel such a thing. But by this point, it's not something impossible, nor is it something that we can outright deny. That is true. Did you intend to speak with the local expert that Zeplar was going to go and speak with in the city? So there was a local expert in the city that Zeplar was going to go speak to regarding the ruins, that he asked you all if he would accompany him on that conversation with. So he's asking if you intend to go speak with that individual still, or if you're going straight to the Little Mia village and then to the ruins. And this individual was at the Slayer's Colossus, I believe. Of Colossus, I believe, was their place of employment. Do you need directions to get to the guild headquarters to ask? Correct. It's on your... You all know where it is. It's on the map. I did no such thing. Nah, I'll just go back, and we don't have to have you say that. It was the captain of the Slayer's Colossus that marked it on your map. He's the one that gave you the map too, so it's kind of fucked up that you forgot that. It's just a little fucked up that you forgot that. No, I know. I saw I saw you making the connection. You don't have to You don't have to apologize to me. I'm not the one who was gift was forgotten. Uh, so you're gonna. So you will be heading to there. I do not know who this individual Zephyr was referring to is. Hopefully, they may know based off of the little information we have. Tread carefully heading to the Lamia village. There have been issues arising there recently. There was a plains chimera which was causing terror in that area over there. I do not know if it still prowls or not. Plains chimeras are a bit more difficult to deal with. They have a venom that they carry, a poison. It depends. The carriage is more secure in that you will be able to move quicker, but it makes you more vulnerable in case something spots you and decides to attack. And then you'll also be putting your horse's life at risk. The plains have been dangerous recently, I hate to say. So if you want to risk the life of the horse and risk the carriage itself for the speed that you'd get from the carriage, then take it. If you don't want to risk those, then I would not recommend it. Personally, I would go on foot. I would not want to risk being caught inside a carriage by one of the bigger creatures and being at a disadvantage because of that. At least if you're on foot, you could move more cautiously, spread out, and possibly combat it a bit better. That's my personal recommendation, though. There are likely other things of value to have in a carriage as well. I do not know if we can provide your horse therapy, but he will certainly be well kept while you are away here. I have not invested in that yet. Yes, you know where the Lania village is. And then you have approximate knowledge of where the ruins is. Do you plan to return to town after your venture at the Lamia village, or are you going to the ruins after? That's fair. Sure. I will do so. Sorry, Beryl, it sounded like you were doing an Do you have something you want to say? Okay. Oh, we lost Alex. Okay. She's back. This is the mysterious music still. I mean, you're going to the Slayer's headquarters. It was nearly explicitly implied that the Slayer's Colossus could do something with it. Okay. So you go, alright. I'll keep an eye out for Raven then. Is there anything else you would need from me that I could provide you for your journey? Nothing. Well, you might not like this answer. As he looks to the Hogdra tusk. Parts of the creatures of the plains would be the most appropriate thing for them. It's how they make their weapons, make their armors, and make their structures and such. Maybe it would be a difficult fight. I will tell you, plains chimeras are nearly impossible to distinguish from normal ones until the fangs of the lion are upon you, and then you'll feel its venom coursing through your veins. It has killed at least 3 other people recently, so... How many would you need? It's limited. In fact, I can provide you some antidotes for poison, in case you come upon the chimera. And then how many healing potions would you need? He's just asking how many healing potions you want. That's what the mayor is asking. How many healing potions would you need? So, did you have a did you have a number you were gonna say, Rogue? Okay. I could provide you with slightly more than 3. It's not I don't have a lot, but I can give you each a healing potion and each an antidote. I was asking for what excess you would need, but that is fine then. Sure, I will fetch a greater healing potion and a antidote for you as well. On that note, I have to do something really quick, so we're going to take a mini 3-minute break. So, do. Very, very quick mini break, because I meant to set this up a long time ago. into game. You can still ask me a question if you need to. I'm just moving from the break screen. Okay. As the mayor goes off and fetches you each a single healing potion, greater healing potion, and a single antidote. And the antidote will, upon being drank, neutralize one poison effect that is afflicting you. Gives you all those and goes, anything else? Gonna assume you guys say no then. Alright. As he goes, I wish you all luck then. Keep in touch if you can, and be careful. The planes have been dangerous recently. I don't want you all to get harmed or anything. I don't know what's going on with the goblins and if Tanilla is involved, but if she is, try to bring her back. I would like it if she was not harmed. It's clear she didn't want to do this. She did it, either way, and she will have to answer for that, but there's clearly something more going on here. Thank you. So you all gonna head out? Sure. To the Slayer's Collage. One antidote per person. Yeah, forever. As you all move, then, to head to the Slayer's Colossus. Is there anything you need to do, your own sort of preparations, or fetching of things before you head to there, or are you just heading straight there? Let's see. So the Slayers and the Black Snake are in the same lot when you enter in. I guess it depends on the path you're taking. Actually, it really doesn't. Because you probably go out the gate, down this road, then you go here, through here, and you would end up going past the entrance to the Black Snake and then toward the Slayer's Colossus HQ courtyard. So yes, you would pass the entrance to the Black Snake. Sure. And as you all are traveling, you move through the city. At this time, people are still about. It's still a rather busy day. People are about. As you move toward the Black Snake, you hear what is almost drowning out some of the sound as you get closer. The sound of rambunctious individuals and mugs clattering together as you draw closer to the Black Snakes, whose doors are wide open, where you can see the light emanating out from inside of it and hear the very wild noise coming from within as you begin to approach the turn to the Slayer's Colossus HQ. Is Josie actually doing anything, or is she just watching as she slows down and walks past it? Right. All right, you do so. And you all round the corner and see past the slayers, past the black snake in this large courtyard. A music change. As you begin to approach this large building that is beset at the sides, built with what looks like large bones of creatures off the side of it. Its entrance is dramatically laid out by this massive maw of a reptilian-like creature that lays above the entrance of the building. You see heavily armored folk carrying large weaponry, all dressed wearing armor clearly made from bits and pieces of monsters slain, hanging out around the courtyard and entering inside of the building itself. Jovial expressions on their face, very clearly in good moods as they're moving about. In the courtyard as well, you can see what looks like training going on next to dummies and large made stuffed creatures that they are testing weapons against, and so on and so forth. As you begin to approach this large building at the front, you would see what looks like an individual standing right before the archway leading to the large maw entrance with what looks like a mug in hand, just with it pressed to his lips and just continually downing it as you approach. Eventually, as you guys get close enough, he stops and goes, "Ugh!" And he goes, before you all walk past him, "Halt a moment. It's headquarters for the Slayers. Not supposed to come in unless you're a friend of them or a member of a guild. Got your papers, whatever things." Looks at it, goes, "Looks right. Head on in then. It's the new year. Celebrations going on. Have a mug or two. They're serving Kraken today." "I don't really know myself. Supposedly it's a sea creature that hasn't been seen in over hundreds of years. Giant sort of monster." Very? It's the new year. No, it's New Year. It's New Year's Day. Mm-hmm. It's the new year. Everyone's celebrating the, things people do around the start of the new year. Fresh start for things and so on and so forth. New cycles of the moon, everything like that. As he goes to take a sip of his mug, looks down, and this is empty. So, I've done my job. I'm going to head on in and get some more. As he goes to walk off. This is not the right playlist. So you all are going to enter? Alrighty. Okay. As you all step inside, You see, as you walk in before you, a massive, massive wooden room as you step in. Designed almost like the inner, what's it called? The lower deck of a large galleon ship. This massive wooden building has what looks like several different parts of it. A upstairs that is has several different stairs at different parts of the rooms connecting up to it. That looks like the hull of a large ship up there. And the downstairs that you are currently on, where several tables sit, filled with people all enjoying large pieces of absurdly sized meat and fish, enjoying food, drinking from large mugs of ale as they are served by the servers of this place that are all dressed in these fine, very nice, what looks like office-like attire. Very, like, dress uniform, looks very nice as they're being served. There are several different bars that are set up at different portions of the room that each have what looks like individuals behind it quickly filling up mugs and handing them out towards these individuals. As this jovial, yet not destructive air lingers. It's a very happy and like go-lucky air about. There's a very, very real camaraderie and companionship that you can feel inside of this warm and bright tavern-like area. As well, past some of the bars and past some of the other parts, you can see what looks like doors heading to different parts of other places of the building. One part of the building you see there's an emanating bright orange ember light, as if there is fire itself inside of the room as it turns the corner. As people are enjoying themselves, and again, all of these people are dressed in garments that looked as if they are made from the parts of monsters. Massive weapons are laying about, strewn across tables and such, as people are enjoying their drinks. You see some weapons get kicked off the side of a table as an individual climbs up on the table, drinking and making merry as he knocks the things over on the table. The rest of the people on the table just cheer him on and clap and laugh as he makes a mess of the area around him. And as you look around in this room, continuing to see that, you hear a, "Hey!" And you see someone waving toward you. And you see... One moment. You see Captain Lagazath. Not dressed, well, in his armor still, but his helmet not on, as you see the Triton man sitting at a table, waving for you over, sitting with what looks like, Mihara, e.g., the dashing, roguish individual that was, accompanied, him in the siege, and that's it. You do not see Lena, nor do you see Yuffie with him. It is just the two of them at that table, as they appear to be eating some sort of strange-looking meat that looks like a very large tentacle that is chopped up in different parts. Pleasure to see you all joining us today. It's Kraken Tentacle, but I'll be real with you. Kraken hasn't been spotted in about 500 years. I don't think it's real. I think this is giant octopus at best. It's fine. As Mihara is in the midst of eating like a giant like piece, as he has this bit in his mouth, chewing as he looks up, a bit of a tentacle stringing down from his mouth as he sucks in, and he goes, "I've had better." Oh, is that true? Well, we got a whole bunch of different people here, so whatever you're looking for, we could probably provide it for you. No. That's wrong. Elven ruins. Looking for someone who's an expert on the Elven ruins. Because you guys knew strikingly little about it. So you'd hear that, and you'd go, expert on Elven ruins? I mean, there are a lot of elves here. They might know. I don't know. You, like a specific ruins, or are you looking for like a blanket thing? Nearby? Big elven word. Takes a sip of his ale. Looks down at it. Thinking for a minute. Points up to you and goes, I think Lena's talked about that before. She said that name. Didn't she say that the other day? When you guys mentioned something around her? Might want to ask her. Look, I don't know of anyone here that's necessarily classified as an expert on whatever it is. So, I don't know. Maybe you could find her and ask her. She should be upstairs, in the lounge area. She doesn't like the noise of down here. Either that, or you could ask, you can go ask one of our guild representatives. They might have more information. They keep catalogs of what people know and what people are good at, so they might have more knowledge on that. I've never really had to deal with the ruins myself. Most of our jobs are around the city. Oh, you wanna turn that into something? You're gonna want to go talk to the Forge Master. Points to the door where the amber orange light's coming through. It's through there. Word of advice: you better know exactly what you want when you go to talk to him, or else he'll be pissed, and he'll be just as likely to snap that thing in front of you. Might not do it to you since you're not someone who works here and bothers him all the time. But he's used to folk coming in there and being like, hey, what can you do with this? And he gets pissed off and tells him I can make a weapon or a fucking piece of armor out of it. And then he takes it and he snaps it in half in front of him. The whole mess makes recruits have to go and get new parts all the time. But, let me tell you, it might be terrible, but they never come in there not knowing what they want again. Mihara chimes up, as he takes, more food in his mouth. He goes, yeah, he once broke, Draconid horn that I brought in. Never getting one of those again, so. As he goes, hey, but hey, so you know, let me point out some important things for you to know here. Upstairs where the lounge is, it's where people sit if they want a bit of a more quiet experience. Upstairs you can also find library and the observatory. Library has all of our bestiaries if you're looking for information on monsters and such. And the observatory is just if you're one of those people who likes to look up at the stars and glean information from it. Down here, we got the bars, obviously, but over in that corner, he would point out to what looks like a little kiosk, like desk area, where what looks like there are four, what look like individuals dressed in this guild attire, handling paperwork and talking to individuals. What looks like clerical work. Over there is a official registration area. If you want to join the guild, you can go talk to them over there, and they'll get you sorted out. Or if you want to request any paperwork for, say, posting up a job or getting anybody to hire on as a mercenary, you can do it there too. If you're posting a job, you gotta talk to them first, then you gotta go over there to the board, as he points out over toward a board that is set up that has several different, like, postings and, like, bits of information, like, paper on it, and you put it up there and people will start taking the job and find your information. Aside from that, back that way is the forge, where the forge master is. Over there is where you put in orders for food, as they point out, like a little bar where food is being served from. And that door right there is where you go if you're looking to talk to higher ups of the guild, administration, and our guild master here. But he explains that to all of you. Well, yeah, so you're gonna have to talk to people in there to set up your appointment. Guildmaster's busy. Unless you can prove it's an emergency. That's about the lay of it. Sorry, not much in this headquarters here. There are bigger ones in other places. You should see the place we have in Praxmore. It's huge. Oh, yeah. Big place. Okay. Is anyone else going to do something? Anyone following Soul? Correct. So Caroline is heading to go and meet with Lena in the lounge. I do need people to tell me where they're going. So, is anyone going with Soul? Are you going to accompany Soul to the registration desk, Beryl, or are you just going to stand in this area? There's a lot of it. Sure. Okay. 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 Josie. And by proxy, Silas. Mm-hmm. I understand. He's gonna follow you either way. So all of you go completely different directions. Beryl just stands there. Josie just looks around for a minute and then just walks out. Okay, starting with Seoul, you head over to the registration desk. There is a moment of delay as you get over, waiting in line, but eventually you get to the front of the line, and before you is what looks like a human woman with dark hair, dressed in this very nice guild attire. As she looks to you, she comes up and she goes, "How can I help you, ma'am?" Are you looking to register? Excellent, excellent. Yes, we could always use more casters. Well, with the atmosphere we have, we attract a lot of people that like to hit things. You can understand, I imagine. As she starts pulling out some drawers from behind and finding some registration. She goes, right, registration. So there's going to be a background check eventually. We'll have to schedule that. It's just a precaution. We don't want anybody of ill repute or who have done like bad things to get involved, because, well, this is a very trusted organization. We, take care of people's worries. It won't be long. It's just a precaution, and they usually don't find anything. And by bad things, we really mean like bad things. We don't care about like thievery or anything else like that, like serious murder or anything else of the real bad variety is what we look for. Aside from that, okay, say that again. I do believe you, ma'am. It is just precaution and is standard for everyone joining in. If there's nothing, it'll take very quick. So first, you're going to need to fill out this. She hands you a form. This will just be you filling out your name, what your style and, like, profession of things you do is. Sorry, I was about to sneeze. And then provide whatever background information you can. Just whatever you're comfortable with. She hands you that. And then afterwards, I'm trying to see what else is required for this. No, nothing else. She goes, and that will be the first thing you need for the initial registration. Just fill that out, bring it back when you can, and we will find when you can come back and set up like a background check and interview. And after that, we'll move into another stage where you have to go into an initiation and fight against some of the monsters that we have here in the arena in a safe environment to show that you're capable. And then you will be welcomed as a lowest member of the recruits. Lowest rank recruit. She nods to you. And she would give you like a thing to write with as well. So what are you going to do? Are you going anywhere? As the captain looks to you, he goes, "Looking to join? Could always use more casters, so sorry about the daunting whole bunch of clerical work that comes with trying to join. We had an incident long time back, and we've taken to not just letting anybody join willy-nilly." Well, it's a long story, but the short of it was that a real bad guy joined. He joined, and, well, missions started going bad when he was involved. People would end up not coming back. It'd just be him coming back. Happened about 5 times in a row before people decided to investigate into him. He was gone. Came back a couple days later, leading an army of monstrosities and tried to kill everybody in a town. Luckily, I was able to put a stop to him, but Guy was apparently blessed with a spiritual blessing of monstrosity taming, and had a real grudge against. This was a branch in Zillia where this happened. Had a real grudge against the Zillian Empire for their imperialistic ways and wanted to take it out on the people. A lot of people died because of it. And we've taken to extreme precautions since it happened. We don't want that happening again. It'd be rare, because you don't meet somebody with that sort of spiritual blessing every day, but... yeah. Yep. Had to change a bunch of policy after that to accommodate people just not joining. Used to have a fee. Used to have to put 150 gold down payment. Don't have that anymore. Lucky you indeed. But everything else is, just a precaution. That background check should go fine, assuming you don't have anything you need to hide from anybody. It's not steel. Lena's wrong. Lena says that because she needs the money, because despite how pris and proper she likes to present herself, she's really bad with coin, and she needs a lot of it for what she needs to do. So the reason why she works so much is because she'll get a paycheck, end up spending who knows how much of it on I don't even know what. And then she ends up working more. It's a vicious cycle. We've tried to get her to stop before, but it doesn't end. That's the reason why Lena works more than any one person in this building. It's because she doesn't know how to handle her money. Otherwise, policy here is that you work when you want to work. You take a job, you get the job done, and then you come back. And you hand in the job. You don't really start getting obligations until you're much later down in the ranks. Well, look. I'm a captain here, so take this with a grain of salt if you would, because I should be trying to get people to join. First off. Though second off, I'm not going to act like this job's for everybody. But I will tell you, aside from companionship and being able to get help for real difficult things from other guildmates, there's one big benefit that I think might help out everyone there in your little group that you might be able to get a hold of if you get high enough in the ranks. And that's transportation. Tell me, either of you ever been on an airship before? Oh, yeah. It's like a boat, except way fucking cooler. And soars straight through the sky. Oh, it's flying. And it takes you all around the world. We got airships going everywhere. We got airships going across Euclex. We got airships going to different parts of Augon. Sure. I don't have an issue with footfall travel, but sometimes you really gotta get somewhere quick, and you don't have the means of getting there through teleportation. So you gotta hop on an airship and it'll get you there quick. It's up to you. Oh yeah, we have a great time. Nothing quite like killing monsters. It's on the topic of weapons you've seen about the room. I mean, there's a lot. Tusk-based weapons, what you've seen are mostly so you can tell what's made of a tusk still is like large lances generally. Is that's the only thing you can tell is made of a husk. But you can see large bone great swords, large bone battle axes, bone hammers, and things like that as well. It's just the only thing you can tell, like for a fact, is a tusk is large lances that clearly either have to be a tooth or a tusk. Sensory overload. There's a lot of magic in here. Weapons, armor, meat, food, drink, chandeliers. On that note, I'm gonna move to upstairs. Carolina, heading off on her own to go speak to Lena. Oh God. As you head up, Carolina, noticing as you're moving up the stairs that nobody has accompanied you. And as you reach the top of the stairs, you see a sign that points out, written in common, pointing to the lounge. And you follow it, and you head following behind it, and find yourself in a quiet room where not many people are sat. A couple different individuals who look like they're enjoying meals or reading a book, perhaps, or doing other sorts of menial activities inside. As you enter into this circular room that has a glass ceiling that looks out upon the rest of the bits around you, mostly the wall and the sky. As you walk in, you see different people about, and then you see at a table, with a book in one hand and then what looks like some paper in the other. Lena is in the middle of some sort of study or deciphering. You can't tell. Mm-hmm. As you approach and you sit down, she'd look up and see you again. Carolina again. Okay. Sorry, if you walk to get her attention over, she'd look up to you and go, Carolina again? Seems so. What brings you here? I don't know. What is it? Imvia Alanar. Imvia Alamar. Alanar. Imvia Alanar. So what are you saying? What is Carolina saying to her? She stops writing. Looks up to you. Sit down. Closes the book. Why are you asking about Envy Eleanor? That is the goblins. That is where the goblins live. Yes, that is their home. Sorry about that. Yes. I don't know who Zephyr is, but I will tell you this. If there's anyone who knows anything about Imvia Alanar, I do not know of any in the Slayer's Colossus. I am the only one, to my knowledge, who knows anything more than the basics about it. You hear regarding the goblins who inhabit the ruins currently, yes? What do you want to know? Approximately thousands of years. Depends on what you're asking. History? Layout? Imvia Alanar is the Swordsinger's Rest. It is where the Lunari came after they betrayed the Order and fled from our homeland. It is where they came and where they set up their home here in Euclax before the eventual schism broke out. Schism broke out and they went their separate ways, and then Imvia Alanar became a dark place, where the dark golems were first made and where the Dark Lord first began his ascension. Trusted generals of him walked in those halls for years before they fled to the north and set up the ultimate home. The north is frozen, trapped in eternal ice now. Whoever remains there is dead or will never see the light of day again, from my understanding. Very little. I have not been there myself, despite me wanting to go there so bad. She reaches into her bag. She pulls out a piece of parchment. Holds it in her hand. Goes, "Do you know what this is?" It's a map of Invia Alanar. I have a money problem, unfortunately, and I need to continually make coin. And I may owe some money to the guild head. And that is one of the reasons why I work so much. So, I have not had the free time because while I wish to go there, I must continue to work to survive and also pay off a debt to my guild master, which I am close to paying off in full. Invia Alanar has answers that I am looking for, or I believe it does. I left my home years ago to find those answers, and now I am just away from getting to the source. But I have to sit here making money for a fucking guild leader. Let's not rely on hopes right now. We both have something we can stand to gain from cooperation. I need to go to Invia Alanar. You need to go to Invia Alanar. I have a map. That would be greatly beneficial to navigating the ruins. Despite the fact that they are old, and despite the fact that the layout has likely changed a great deal, this map will still be a boon to you. I suggest we make a deal. I need you to talk to the guild leader, and I need you to convince her to allow me to take leave so that I may accompany you to the ruins. I don't know. Offer a mutually beneficial deal to her. Offer her money. Or maybe just sweet talk her. Any one thing could work. Either way, I need to get there, and I can help you and your friends. Roll insight. You sense a great deal of confidence from her. That is all I ask. She puts the map back away. Goes, "Of course. Take as much time as you need. I will not be going anywhere. Well, I won't be going anywhere until a couple hours from now when I have to go to work." not. You heading down? Are you heading back down after that? Okay. Cutting away once again. Going to Isaac. As you head through the door to head to administration, you find yourself not on a line, just walking straight up to what looks like a desk where a woman is sat looking at some piece of paper, parchment before her, as she's just examining them over. This elven woman is sat before you, dressed in the similar guild uniform, but clearly of a higher esteem, like a higher regards, clearly someone of higher rank. As you approach them, behind their desk is a set of double doors that are firmly closed. And as your footfalls grow closer, she looks up from the papers and speaks out to you as you grow closer and goes, I don't recognize you. How can I help you? If you're here to put in a request that's out at registration. Could have asked this at registration and likely gotten an answer as well. It's fine. Registration is just also supposed to be the information kiosk for anyone coming in that isn't aware of things in here. You're looking for an expert on Imvia Alanar. I believe those are the elven ruins that the goblins inhabit. The only person who knows anything about that, to my knowledge, would be Lena. As you walk out, where are you going after? Yeah, you'd see Carolina coming down the stairs from talking to Lena. Cutting away real quick again. I understood why Isaac did it. It's just funny that everyone split up like this, leading to Josias going, "What the fuck am I here for?" Astrid, as you go to approach the entrance to the forge, you walk past the threshold to enter into the forge, and you feel an intense heat move over you instantly, as if you're standing next to an open flame. You walk into this large room where you see massive iron furnaces at work, flames spewing from them, different blacksmiths all moving and forging what looks like massive weaponry as it goes. In front, at the front, blocking off the way toward these furnaces, there is a large metal, what we would know as conveyor belt, that is sat in front. This large metal conveyor belt has what looks like armor and weapons going past the front, as a very large and stark-looking Goliath man is looking over pieces of armory and weapons as they pass by, examining them. Before him, there is what looks like a man who has also just received a weapon, looking up and nodding as he walks away. This Goliath man is completely bald, has what looks like a light blue eyes, and is dressed with an apron and normal blacksmith clothing as he stands there. You can see scorch marks, burns, and cuts all across his arms and other parts of his exposed skin. Very clearly hard worker and very clearly has been doing this for a while as he continues to examine the bits of metal that move past him as he stands there after the individual walks away. You going to approach this individual? As you approach, she looks down to you and goes, "I don't recognize you. You new recruit?" "Oh, friend of the guild. You got the badge." "That's fine. Nobody lies about that. I'm Blackjaw." "Yeah. How can I help you?" "You want to buy finished products? It's over there." So he points to what looks like a area that you can see just where he points to. What looks like a square room built into the wall that has what looks like iron bar in front of it itself, set up sort of like very securely so that nobody could get in. And behind what looks like a iron door that opens only from the inside, you see what looks like a individual inside the room. What looks like a orcish man standing inside, tending about what looks like pre-made weapons and such. "It's my apprentice. It's one of my apprentices. He handles selling of pre-prepared goods. If you want to talk to him, he can sell you something. Just tell him what you're looking for, and he can get you sorted out." "Yeah, I know the Lemia. We had a standing deal with them not too long ago. They had some folk come in and learn some of the hunting techniques that we have for the creatures here in the plains, and in exchange they gave us some of the rare parts of creatures that they've been hunting. Good folk." So you're trying to get in good with them by presenting them with something nice, huh? All right. Well, look. How much time do you have? And how much coin? And how much coin do you have? Okay. Is that what you're gonna say? Right. How much time do you got? Give me 1 second. All right. So you're looking to leave soon, then? Okay, so I'll tell you what to do. Lemia specialize personally in melee weaponry. However, they've been trying to pick up ranged tactics recently. So you got 700 gold to spend. I'm gonna make it better for you. Even you're not gonna spend that much. Go over, talk to my apprentice, and tell him you're looking for a slizzard bow. He'll give you one. You'll spend about maybe 350 gold on it. He'll give it to you. It'll be real nice, and it'll be something that you can give to him. Though it should be spelled the other way. Fine tusk, fine part. Can be made into a lot of nice things. Well, when she knows, you tell me. Well, she'll tell me. Alrighty. he'll offer his hand. You get some soot onto your palm as he shakes it, and it's a firm handshake. Okay. So you walk over. He looks up and he goes, "Oh, heard you talking to the boss. What can I get you?" Alrighty. He picks out a weapon. As you see him pull what looks like a pale bone bow that is made of a very fine-looking bone. Around the... Oh, God, I don't remember the name of the part, so I'm going to have to... Sorry. Around the grip where the arrow rest lays, there is what looks like two parts of a jaw that are put on the bow at the front that look like these parts of a massive, a large reptilian creature's skull that is at the front of it, this pale bone. It as well has what looks like some fiery red engraving at the side and a carving going down the front of the arm, very down to the bottom of it, that flows with this fiery red inside. As he takes it out and places it down, he goes, 350 gold. Picks it up. He goes, "No, that's Orcish." Reads, do. As that's me, not him. No. It reads, "Trial by fire." Yeah, an orc that sells weapons. Yes. And he gives you the weapon through a special counterspell. Looks down to it, gives you a nod, smile, and goes, "Come back anytime if you're looking for something." Slide the money over. Fire damage. And it hits a bit better. Gives you a thumbs up. As you head out. So we go to someone else. Josie, you walk out. And where are you going? Alrighty. As you head over to the Black Snake. So you open the door to this establishment, and you immediately assailed by the sounds of raucous singing and mugs clattering together. Inside, around, there are what looks like several different square tables with benches sat at them. All different individuals enjoying mugs of ale, partying about as if it was nighttime. As it is very filled inside here. People are in the midst of having drinks, playing card games with one another, other gambling sorts of things, and fights going on as well. As you walk in, you see someone take a mug and smash it over the head of another individual as you walk into this square bar room. And you see these frothing, overfull mugs of brown ale just all about the room. People moving about, very raucous and wild in here as you step in. And you see about different barmaids trying to make what they can of the chaos and just work their job. And what looks like at the back of the room, a bar where a individual barkeep is sat. What looks like a a Triton man, in fact. Blue skin, long silver hair, sat behind the counter with green eyes, and at the side of the room there is a spiral staircase going up to a second floor. And just folk just rowdy and about, smacking mugs into each other, clattering things of ale, and it's just a real mess. What's your passive perception? Mm-hmm. You hear, and you're not sure how far above you, but somewhere above you, what sounds like a little pop and like a shake, and what sounds like as well like someone fiddling with some sort of metal. Roll a perception check. You do not spot Yuffie anywhere. So you're gonna try and find her on this floor investigatively? Sure. Just roll me perception check again. We'll say at advantage since you're like going around and looking. It is, isn't it? As you're moving about and trying to find her, you're getting lost in the crowd and just having the worst time of your life trying to find this woman. As you look and you find no head or tail. You don't know where you are anymore. By the time you are done trying to look, you do not know where you are. You don't know where the exit was anymore. And you feel someone grab your arm quickly and like pull you away from the crowd. And unless you try to stop it, you're going to be just pulled straight out of it. As you just get yanked out of the crowd, like you weighed absolutely nothing, just pulled out, as Yuffie has pulled you out from the crowd, one-armed grabbing onto your wrist, just pulling you out and go, "Oh there! Having some trouble moving through the crowd there. Sorry about that. Didn't know you showed up." Well, yeah, that's yeah, it's a bit like that. I quite like it myself. Noise helps drown out some of things I'm usually trying to do during the day. But you made it. Thanks for coming. I didn't know I'd see you so soon again. That's terrible. That's inconvenient. No, I mean, I don't. You don't strike me as a murderer, fella. Or I think you're mighty kind. I don't think you track murder or anything like that. That seems mighty counterproductive if you were going to meet with someone for everybody to head different directions. Well, right, okay. Well, if you don't have a lot of time, I don't want to keep you too long. I hope I get to see you again soon when you have some free time. Well, what are you busy with? Oh, it's dangerous. I don't know a damn thing about that myself. But look, well, I'd love to meet with you again, when you're not busy. So how about this? She like reaches down into her bag and just starts fiddling with like a mess of things. I'm like, God damn it! She pulls out what looks like a bomb, circular shaped. Yeah, I said a bomb. We're gonna get fucking wasted. We're gonna get fucking lost in it. No. She pulls out a bomb as you see this circular black contraption that has what looks like a metal bit at the side that is clearly to be pulled. And she hands this to you and goes, well, this is a bomb. It's something of my own make. A very big explosion. Black powder. Red powder, actually. Very, very, very nasty. It will bring down a building. Small building, but a building nonetheless. It's dangerous out there. This'll be very useful if you run into something that's not too nice to fight against. So I'm gonna give you this, and you just promise me that you'll come back. Smiles at you, and she holds out the bomb. And she like stands there for a minute and like doesn't seem to really know what to do after that. She like lifts her hand up and her other hand moves like should she hug you or whatever or not. She like settles, she like puts a hand on your shoulder and gives like a pat. She doesn't, it's clear she really doesn't know what to do. Yeah. Yeah, and she just gives you like a pat on the shoulder and goes, you be careful then. And I'm excited to see you again. As the both of you do that basically at the same time. No. Ooh. It's a nice gun. It's got a whole fiery thing going on. Ah, you talk about Black Flames owner. Yeah, that guy's weird. Nice fella, but weird. It's okay. Well, it's a nice shift. It'll give you like a opportunity, free hand's always good for something. Are you trying to do like one-handed only, or are you like dual wielding? Oh, that's good ideology. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'll well, just let the barkeep know when you're here. He'll find me, and I'll find you. Yeah, it's just right down the way when you walk in. You don't have to walk into the crowds if you get into him. It's a pretty big room. No, it's a big room. Well, this is like inside of a building. It's not exactly your like forte. Well, look, there's a lot of people in here, and everybody's kind of rude. So it's hard. I mean, you're lucky you didn't get stabbed. Frankly, I would have been real mad if you got stabbed. I would have probably shot someone. Did someone stab you? Okay. They play knife tag here a lot. If you're asking questions about what knife tag is, you're already playing it. Me too. I've been bitten before by big things. Got fire. No, well, no, vampire maybe once or twice. Probably just once. No, mostly monsters. Big lizard creature. I got shot with lightning once by a behir. That's cool. That seems like a hard thing to do. Well, they were the friends then? That's confusing. I don't really know how that works. That's confusing. Well, it was good seeing you. Well, I appreciate that. Be careful with that bomb, and come on back then. She pats you on the shoulder. I'm gonna roll something. No, it's not that. She just seemed to gain the confidence to pull you into like a hug. She hugs you, then immediately pulls back and go, "Well, good seeing you," and runs into the crowd, vanishes from sight. Roll me a d4. Yeah, you go towards the door. Okay. So you head back to the Slayers. You're not too far off, and that wasn't too long of a conversation, so you get back, and then everyone starts to make their way back as you're all together again. As all of you arrive back to... Well, you were standing about and just looking around. You didn't tell me that you had decided on what you wanted to do. Yes. Now we're all back. Now you're all back together. So if you could do that now if you want to, but you had not gotten the chance to go back to the forge since everyone's gotten back. As what do you all do? Josie arrives back as the last person to arrive back quickly after Astrid arrives back. No. You can brief him now. So what do you're going to tell everybody of what happened? The captain chimes up. He goes, "I'm sorry, pay her off? Is Lena in debt to the guildmaster?" hell is she in debt to the guildmaster for? It's Mahara, eating his food, still chimes in, goes, gambling. And the captain turns to look to Mihara. He goes, I'm sorry, what? As Mihara goes, you talked about how Lena's bad with money. It's because she gambles a lot. I know because I go with her, too. We go down. We go down to the Black Snake, and we bet on the Praxmore horse races. Well, it wouldn't be that bad if it was just that. Because I just do the Praxmore horse races, but Lena's been getting into Griffin racing recently. And she took out a significant sum of money borrowed from the guildmaster because she was absolutely sure that Lucky Vin was going to really take it. Lucky Vin wasn't so lucky. No, it's what I tried to explain to her, that if they put Lucky in the name of the animal in the race, it's not going to go well. It's bad. So she took out a big amount of money and she's in debt to the guildmaster because of that. The captain just goes, "How long have you known this and just not told me?" Or shrugs. Go on, though. As they talking about that. I mean, you could request a specific guild member, but it'd be up to them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Need to offer a reward, though, then. Mercenary job, you're looking at about 400 gold pieces. Look, I don't know what PTO is, because we're a commission-based organization, first off. Second off, you could do that. Though I'm sure Lena would prefer you talk her out of her own problems. Funny lady. $825 gold. Mihara chimes up. The captain just goes, "Why do you know all this specific information?" Mihara's eating bread. He goes, "If she doesn't learn herself, she's never gonna learn." Oh. I think my headphones just died, guys. Give me a minute. Hello? Oh. Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Alright, sorry about that.
In response to him saying she has to learn herself, Astrid said, well, I'd rather she learn before someone tries to break a kneecap.
Guildmaster won't break her kneecaps.
No, but who's she going to go next once the guildmaster won't mentor anymore?
Sucks. They must not have gambling in that fancy elf place she comes from.
I mean, you can make anything into a bet.
It's because she's a sucker, that's why.
Well, I'm curious, Jake. Did the Moon Elves of Sylvania have any gambling?
Not really. It's not like there's not like there's not like laws against it, but they don't like have much like official gambling things. There might be bets and stuff that people take, but they don't like.
There's no like
they don't
institution.
Like,
for
no,
it.
there's like no like institutional gambling. No.
What do you mean? I can't find a Moon Elf bookie.
Not where you're from, at the very least.
Right, well, I guess in lieu of actually just paying off her debt, we'll pay about half her debt. I mean, I'm sure the Slayers take a cut of the profits or the for the mission, but still, you said about 400 gold to put in a request.
She nods. He nods.
That's about half her debt. Even if the guild takes about 100 gold out of that, it's still say 300. I don't know what your guys' rates are, but regardless, it's killing two birds with one stone. Essentially, she's getting paid and she's getting an excuse to do what she needs to do, and she's helping us. So it's like three birds.
A lot of birds.
A lot of birds.
Well, if everyone's okay with that, we can try that first. Or try that if that seems like the better option.
Rogue, were you about to say something?
Well, if that is your plan, you can pay my portion.
Your portion of the fee?
Yes.
Alright. Do you not want to go in on this with us?
It is not a matter of want.
You're unable to. Fair enough.
Kind of embarrassing, yes.
I mean, it's not really anything to be embarrassed about. As far as I'm aware, you spent a good portion of your money on ingredients to make healing potions for us.
Yeah, we could cover your soul.
Thank you.
I mean, we should run this by Lena first, of course, to see if she's okay with it. She's, like you said, she may ask for us to go and clear her debt first off, but we got to play a little hardball, not necessarily give her exactly what she wants, but show her that this is a good deal regardless.
All right. Astrid will like sort of stretch and like roll her neck out, like she's getting ready to she's getting ready for a bout.
Mm-hmm. And are you all going to go up to talk to Lena?
Yeah.
Okay, before that, Beryl, do you want to go talk to the smith?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do that and then we're going to end the session.
Okay.
As you head to go talk to the smith, same room I described, same individual I described, do you approach him?
Yeah.
Looks down to you and goes, "Don't recognize you. New recruit? Friend of the guild like that Astrid fella."
Oh, I'm a friend.
So you're the
And
one who didn't know what they wanted yet.
Show the emblem. I did not, but now I do. And I'm just like
Well, what do you want with it then?
the giant tusk. Well, what I've got currently, and I pull out the Maquahital, it's nice, but it's a little light, a little flimsy. I want something beefy.
It's a one-handed weapon. You want a two-hander?
Aye,
What do you want?
something I can put weight into.
Well, what type of weapon you want?
Well, I used to use this maul. I don't know if that's something that you can do with something like this, but something hefty that'll pack a punch.
Could turn it into a maul. Be more of a bone weapon than a tusk weapon by that point, but it works just about the same.
And I was curious. I noticed that a fair amount of weaponry, well, all the weaponry here that everybody carries has a bit of a magical essence to it.
Yep.
Is that something you do in the forging process?
Monstrosities are magical creatures. They got innate magical properties that transfer over into the weapons that are made of them, too. Sometimes you get an enchanter to come in and enchant weapons, but most of the time it's just because of innate magical properties of the monsters we're killing.
That works for me.
So you wanted me to make this into a maul?
If that's something you can do.
It's something I can do. It's gonna cost you.
I have money.
How much you looking to spend on this?
Oh, well, I'm not quite sure what something like this would cost. Do you have an estimate?
If you just want me to make you a maul with the tusk, about 450 gold pieces.
Well, what else can you do with it?
Money past that's just making it better. Which will take more time.
I have more money than that, I think.
Well, how much are you willing to spend on this, then?
One second. Yeah. So Beryl pulls out all of her money.
How much money is it?
895 gold, 1 silver, and 15 copper.
You looking to use all of that for this?
Seems that way.
You sure about that?
I'm sure I want a good product.
Look, give me 700 of the gold pieces.
700. All right. And she'll just start to sift through them, pulling out the copper and the silver piece, and it's like, right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He reaches over and starts separating 700 gold pieces.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. You just pick out what you want.
Give me the tusk.
Hand it to her. Hand it to him.
Takes it, lifts it up, sets it on the conveyor belt, and then takes out what looks like a chisel and a nail and a tag. Writes something quick on the tag that says maul, and then just hammers the nail into the tusk. That'll be done in about 3 to 4 days, depending on depending on the forge.
Fair enough.
Gets a bit iffy during the winter, so could be 4. Probably just gonna be 3 though.
All right. Well, thank you. Name's Beryl, by the way.
Blackjaw.
Nice to meet you, Blackjaw.
Shakes your hand. Soot. Strong grip.
Dust flies off of me. Just covers him as well.
You take care.
I'll do that. I'll just give him a nod and walk out.
Alrighty. Okay. That is going to be the session. I hope everyone had fun, as we're going to call it. Thank you for all the people who watched along tonight. Hope you also had fun. And we're going to say goodbye.
Stream.
Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.